Right, we'll give this room 10 minutes. Nobody coming through today. Hello, hello. I don't know how loud this music's coming through. Any feedback is appreciated. What's up, Rick?
Hey, good afternoon.
Hey. My music coming through really loudly.
Yep, sounds good.
All right. Well, the stream's live. We're live in Voxels. I'm gonna drop the link up here. Oh, sorry. Just hit my microphone. How's everybody doing? How's your day going, Rick? Sasha, you working? Put the volume down a little bit. Wasn't able to make those clips for that read-through we did last night, but hopefully tonight I'll be able to get to that. It'd be nice to be able to listen back through. Once we get more people in here, we'll share the latest B-roll. We had a couple new photos from Anita. Not too much else new, but it was cool for anyone who didn't see it. Maybe we'll actually just let it stream through on the live stream right now. You can follow us on Twitch at Storytime DAO, where we are currently live in Voxels, waiting for the community to show up. We'll see. Maybe people are busy today, which is all good. It's okay. Hold the room for at least 60 minutes, ideally. Maybe 90 minutes, maybe longer, depending how things go. Let me fly around a little bit. In honor of the ETH merge today, I am rocking my Vitalik outfit. Got a Vitalik Buterin Voxels outfit. He's got some Laroque shades on. Rocking his Bay cap. Anyone can jump in here, check it out. Hanging out in the sleazy section. Storytime DAO section. But yeah, this is community engagement, and this is Storytime DAO, History of Now. All folks are welcome to join up. I have to tab out of my stuff here. Let me invite you all up. Got a couple more people. I'm still not used to Club Deck. And this is just some random copyright-free music that I'm playing in the background for the live stream. But we should probably use something else. Got some kind of anime vibes going. Welcome, welcome, Marijuana Man, Nefertari, ABN, Low, I'm inviting you up. Anita,
Yo.
welcome. That music's coming through clearly.
Yeah, it's coming through pretty clear.
All right. Cool, cool. Welcome, Jeffrey. So yeah, open platform. Anyone has anything they want to share, anything they want to add, any feedback for the community? Once we get a few more people in here, maybe we'll share this B-roll, artistic B-roll from the community. Got some photos, got some artwork, some music, cool videos. If you haven't seen it already, we did get a couple new pieces from Anita as well that'll be featured on this week's version. But other than that, it's stuff that we've received over the last couple weeks. Okay. I'm still getting used to Club Deck. Welcome, Jeffrey, Anita, Nefertari, Low. How's everybody doing?
Hey, David, I'm good. How are you, sir?
Good, good.
Hey, I had a question on how does the B-roll footage work?
The B-roll footage is just being updated week to week. You can send me a message directly, or yeah, like Anita's kind of sent it over Instagram if it's just a light picture. But if it's a video or any higher resolution graphics, you might be best to drop it in a folder, which I can send you the link to. It's kind of a community art folder. You can just drop it in there and let me know you've dropped it, and let me know the name of it, and I'll go pull it from there.
Cool. And then does it get displayed or aired?
Yeah,
Like,
so we're gonna show it here right now, or not right now, but soon. And we basically just play it over the live stream. So right now, if you jump into Voxels, links at the top of the room here. If you jump into Voxels there and you click on the Twitch screen, which you'll see right kind of by the catwalk. If you click on the Twitch screen there, that will be our live stream, Storytime DAO live stream. And so when I let everybody know, you'll be able to press play on there, and the B-roll will play on there, yeah, with audio, and just everyone's art will show on the video. Yeah.
okay. Does it have to be is there a certain file size limit?
Generally, yeah, we're trying to keep it under, I mean, ideally under 200 megs. If it's bigger than that, we can see what we can do. It's a big B-roll file, so when we add it to everything else, it gets to be a pretty heavy file. But yeah, in general, we can work with whatever you got, but try to keep it at a reasonable size.
Right. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, cool. And there is, we're looking at other uses for community art within the metaverse as well. I know we've talked to Jake and Lo about that, and we haven't just done it yet, but potentially in the kind of ground floor of that record shop, which is already named Storytime DAO. We're looking for a way to kind of incorporate some more community art there, and for those of them that are NFTs, being able to redirect to their NFTs and put them up in the metaverse. So that'll be something where we're looking at as well. Love the Liana vibes in here. All these awesome wearables from Jagar.
Hey, David. So can we also see this on Twitch?
Yeah, you can watch it just on Twitch. You don't have to go through Voxels. If you just follow Storytime DAO on Twitch and watch the stream right on there directly, if you don't want to watch it through Voxels, or if you're on your mobile phone, the screen in Voxels doesn't really work very well on mobile phone. But yeah, so that's what we're doing today. Open to anybody sharing their projects, stories, spoken word, any literature, any creativity they want to share. Or if everyone here would like to watch the B-roll, we can fire up the B-roll and watch that through once right now, and then maybe again at the end. Whatever everybody wants to do. Welcome. Lar Hoops. Butter Baby, what's up? How's it going, Pilar?
Hi. Someone's called Butter Baby.
That's what it looks like on my screen. Butter Baby.
Butter Baby, that's awesome.
There you go. Welcome. Anybody have anything they want to share with us here?
Is it just me that when I hear Butter Baby, I hear Cokehead?
Yeah, I think that's your Miami background there.
I'm dying.
That's what we call butter. That's butter. You know that, right?
Really?
I didn't know that.
That.
You never heard that?
No.
You never heard it's like butter?
I've heard that, but I didn't know they were talking about cocaine.
What did you think they were talking about? Did you think they were talking about cow's milk churned?
No, I just thought it was like...
It's like butter, baby. It's like butter.
Can I tell you this ridiculous story? And please don't hold it against me. I was very naive. And so, what's his name? Big Boy from, God, the duo. It's killing me now.
Outcast?
Yeah, that's it. So he's like, yeah, we want kata, right? And I was like, what the hell is kata? And I'm sitting there, and it's like, my event, I'm trying to get it going, and I'm like, okay, yeah, no problem, I'll be right back. And I'm like, I guess maybe it's women. Like, do they want girls in the VIP booth, right? So I was like, let me go get a bunch of the promo models. I'm like, hey, ladies, come over here and like chill and hang out for a while, right? Enjoy some drinks, whatever. So I bring up a bunch of girls, and they're all up there, and I'm like, okay, they're taken care of. Like, do you know what I mean? Like moseying around, doing the thing, like running around, taking care of everything. Come back to check in on them, and he's like, so what about it, kind of thing. And I'm like what? Oh, is there something else you need? And he's like, yeah, like, coulda. And I was like, um, and I was like, oh my God. And I tried not to like look frazzled, but I was like, was that not taken care of kind of thing, right? And he's looking at me like, he's like, do you know what that is? And I was just like, just very matter of fact, I don't believe I do. Like, I was just like, no, I don't think I do. And he was just like, oh, and then like a couple of them, like him and the other guy that was with him, like just this friend, they were like, cut it. And so they kind of giggled and they chuckled and they're like, Coke. I was like, got it. Be right back. But I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I have to say this. No, I actually do not.
Close to butter, right?
It was the
See,
butter.
see how they did that, right? See how they did that, right?
Yeah, yeah. Now, you know what I mean? But I was very young. It was very,
It makes me
very
feel like
early.
he was. It makes me
Uh,
feel like he was around a bunch of niggas who didn't want to use the B.
yes, and which is fine. It was just like I was just like, God, I can't believe I had to make them like say it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like very discreetly to me, but it was like also like, oh God, I'm so not cool. Like I was just so young. I was just like, ah. Anyways, yeah. So now I know another word.
Gotta know the lingo.
It's like, man, I wish there was something like pinch your nose or some international thing that, you know what I mean? It's like,
It's called party. Do you party?
I mean, I know that one, but you know what I mean? I'm like, why
That's
does
the international one. That is the universal one. Hey, you party? Yes, that's it.
but I guess they use like, what is it? Like the ATL term that they were using at that moment.
And that's there are um crew specific slang, right? There's a bunch of people who will just use some shit that's not necessarily that says everybody uses it just because this group of friends does.
Right. Which I obviously would not know. It was just
And
like,
what happens is some rappers get really famous, so their group of friends slang become national slang. You know what I mean?
got it. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So yeah, I felt foolish and I was just like, oh, and I was like, oh, well, I guess the girls can stay anyways because who doesn't like a bunch of great looking women hanging around? I was just like, I'm out of here. But yeah.
That's some funny stuff. Anyone else got anything to share? Do you guys want to watch
Ooh, I need
the
another one.
B-roll?
Another one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dog food. Dog food.
No, come on.
Yeah, no. Dog food isn't cocaine though. I give you a couple of hints. I give you a couple of tries. Guess what dog food is?
Is
I'm
it
so
meth?
scared.
Dog food should be meth.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with meth too.
Incorrect.
Wow, really?
Heron.
Is it
Yes, ma'am.
heroin?
It's heroin.
Really?
Dang. Is it because it comes in tinfoil?
No. Also, there's boys and there's girls. Can you guess which is which?
No.
No.
Heroin is the boy, cocaine is the girl.
Oh. Wow. So okay, I have a question. Doesn't one make you excited and the other one brings you
One is a
down?
upper, yeah, one is a upper, one is a downer, yes.
Right. So you
And
wouldn't
then
like
there's some
nobody
crazy
would ever
people out
take
here.
both together.
Yes, it's called speedball. It's
Oh,
called a
that's
speedball.
oh
Yes, cocaine mixed with heroin.
God, why would anyone do that? What a
I
clash.
wanna die.
Oh. Oh God.
Yes, that's a
That's
real thing. That's a thing.
oh yeah, that's a
Cocaine
thing.
and heroin is a thing.
That's a thing. Can I tell you a story about Kay? Um,
Ooh, ketamine. Ugh.
yeah. So very early in my career, I go to New York. I go visit New York. Was it my first or second time there, right? I was just like, wow, everything's so great. I was hanging out with a bunch of club kids. I was like, yeah, it's so fun. And one of my club kid friends from Toronto, who now live there, was with me. And remember, these are like 7.5 foot tall creatures, right? Like on crazy stacks, like things that are like 2 feet tall. Anyways, he's on it and he needs to sit down. Like he looked like he was about to fall over. And I was like, oh, no, no, no. How about you sit down? You sit down, right? And so I help him sit down. And I was helping, like I was walking with him, holding his hand, but like understand, like I'm very petite. And when I'm holding his hand, when he's standing on these stacks, like his hand is like where our hands are holding are like my hand is up by my head where his arm is extended all the way down. Like that's how tall he is, right? So, anyways, I help him sit down where he almost like Eiffel Towers down. It was like a nightmare. Anyways, and I that's when I see his eyes. I get to see like the close, like up close his eyes. And I
Oh, he was in
kid
the
you
K
not,
hole, huh? He was in the K
yes,
hole.
his eyes, okay, imagine, the dark part of the eye where the pupil sits inside of it, right? Like, but there's the dark color or the blue color, green color, whatever your eyes are. He had like, I think, blue eyes. And so his eyes, that colored part with the pupil in it, are moving very, very quickly left to right. But get this, they're moving both inwards and outwards together. Like, so they're like crossing and outing very, very fast, like do, 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 do. And he's sitting there like, Pilar, I love you. And I was just like, when I saw the eyes do that, I was like, oh, note to self in my brain. I was like, never, ever, ever do K. Like, I never want whatever's
The
happening,
proper response. That is the proper response.
right? Whatever's happening in this person's head right now that's making those eyes do that, like, yeah, I don't want that. I don't want any part of that. I was just like, note to self, never, ever, ever. And like, when you're in the scene, people are always offering you all kinds of stuff. Like, gosh, like if I had received every item I had ever been offered, trust me, like room full of things, right? But yeah, crazy.
I'll
Yeah,
tell
when I
you like
saw those
this.
eyes, that terrified me. Like inside, I was like, why would anyone do that to themselves?
Listen,
Anyways,
you know what kept me off of hard drugs?
what?
When I was young, um, right, crack came out. So let's say 84, 85. Yeah, 84. So
Wow,
1984, I'm about 7 years old.
right,
Our neighbor downstairs, right? I used to live in Brooklyn. The neighbor that lived in the apartment underneath us, they
right.
were. I had my little homeboy. We were the same age, right? We were in first grade together, and they had two. He had two brothers, 13 and I think like 16, right?
Okay, okay.
And them niggas went from kids in the neighborhood to the richest people in the neighborhood, teenagers, right? 13
Wow.
and 16, to the biggest crackheads I have ever seen still to this day in my life,
No,
right?
they
In the
did their
span
own
of like a
stuff.
year. In the span of like a
Wow.
year. For like a year. Like to no crackheads, right? And I believe them niggas are still crackheads to this day, to be
Of
honest with you.
course, most likely.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But
yeah.
them niggas went from just regular kids to rich. Like I'm talking
Wow.
rich. The brother bought like 3 BMWs. Like
Right,
rich. Like the
right,
niggas was
right.
rich. And then there was base heads. And then I mean like they was like crackheads. Like,
Wow.
hey, can I borrow hey, you got $1? Yo, you got $1? Like
So
overnight.
bad. Oh,
Yeah. So
even just them getting to that kind of wealth, like we know what was happening for them to get to that kind of wealth. Do you know what I mean? Like in that area, you know what I mean? Like just
like them niggas was
mass
making
explosion,
stupid money.
right?
Stupid
Because addiction
money.
was just so instant, and everybody was like being roped into it, right? In that
Yeah, but no,
community.
that's that shit. But you know, cocaine is euphoric, right? You
Yeah.
feel great, amazing, the best you've ever felt in your life, and then you feel the worst you've ever felt. So why would you want to feel the worst you've ever felt? You keep doing the cocaine.
Oh, is that how it works? I didn't realize that the downside was
Yo,
that.
with crackheads only get high once a day.
Why?
the first time, and then the rest of the day they're chasing it.
No.
Yup. And it only lasts for like a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes type shit.
Come on.
Yeah, for sure. Coke
Oh,
only lasts like 15, 20 minutes.
oh,
That's why they
that's so
doing this shit all day.
so sad.
Tragic.
Yeah.
And you got to realize this is the thing that really bothers me about America. There is no culture more important than drug culture in America.
Oh, it's yeah.
None.
Yeah.
There never has been, there never will be.
Yeah.
Ever. America has always been about intoxicants. Always. From they first got here with the rum and the sugar and the tobacco, my nigga.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
The sugar was massive. Yeah.
Sugar is the number one drug in the world. There's
yeah.
no drug more potent, important, or
And
profitable than sugar.
Yeah. It says it does to your brain exactly what Coke
Identical.
or meth does to your brain. Like literally. And you're only supposed to have like processed sugar wise, like no more than 8 grams per day. One chocolate bar will have anywhere from 48 to like 65 grams in that bar alone. Right. And then we're giving kids, snickerdoodles, and we're giving them soda.
Can you imagine
all day long. All day
Anybody,
long.
can you imagine doing an 8 ball of straight sugar? 3.5 grams of straight sugar.
Yeah. Right.
Now I'm talking about there's 3 grams of sugar in this thing. I'm talking about just 3 grams of sugar. Just put it in your mouth. Just eat. You can do that. You literally can't do that. You fucking lose your mind, bro. Your heart would be racing so fucking fast. Yo, you know what? What is the difference between a cokehead at a party and a fucking 5-year-old at a party? Tell me the difference. I'll wait.
Size? Like, that's about it.
I would think the 5-year-old is smarter.
Oh, well, yeah. 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 It's crazy though, right? Like when you think of like how much sugar we feed kids, I mean, just on a typical American diet, right? And then we wonder
how much
why.
Sugar's in the bread. Look how much sugar's in the bread.
Bread, everything we feed those kids, right? And then if you're not careful, if you're not a parent that's like really parsing things out and paying attention, your kids are being fed that, like their brains are being fed that all day. And then we wonder why at a certain age when they begin to have like some independence in that, why it doesn't when they experiment, why that experimentation doesn't seem so weird to their brains, because it's like, well, you've been feeding them sugar all this time. It's the same thing. Do you know what I mean? It's like an easy hot. It's like an easy latch on. It's like, right? Like it's yeah, it's.
And that's why these people who self-medicate with food.
Oh
like
yeah.
Candy and shit. Yeah, it's a thing, right?
Oh yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Like a big thing. Yeah.
All right, who's got some more uplifting creative shares for us here? This topic is depressing, but interesting, and interesting for sure. Maybe it can spark some creativity. But yeah, the drugs are real.
All right, I'm gonna tell you a story I was writing. Right.
All
so
right.
I have this premise. I have this idea. It's called the grid. Right. And the premise of the story is: what if natural food was treated as contraband? Right? So it's like instead of drug dealers, you have produce dealers. People who are growing food that is grown illegally, i.e., off the grid, right? Because it's not GMO'd, it's natural, and they don't want that anymore, right? right? They want a strict control of your diet, so they don't like food that is grown in the wild, so to speak, right? And so, and then I took the premise a little further, and the only way they ever catch drug dealers is informants, right? Because remember, drug dealing is a truly peer to peer network, right? The only people who should know you have drugs are your customers and your supplier, right? So
Yeah.
the only way the government is ever really able to break down any big, large network is someone from inside the network turning or them infiltrating the network, right? So, and a lot of times they use buyers, right? Buyers to infiltrate the network.
Yep.
So I said, in the premise of my story, it's a little different. We use sellers to create the network, and then we arrest the buyers.
That's
Right?
how you truly shut something down.
That's how you shut it down, right?
Yeah.
That's the point of the story. Is like if you really
That's
wanted to shut it fucking down,
you'd go
you
after the
would
buyers.
stop the buyers, not the
100%.
sellers, right? Because every
100%.
time you take a seller out of the market, what do? You create a vacuum and you make new sellers.
Yeah, opportunists just pop up. That's not
Exactly what I mean,
if
nigga. I've been
there's
watching him get fucking $10,000 a week on that corner all my life. You just took that nigga to jail. You think I'm not finna stand on that corner and try to get at least 1,000 of them dollars?
100%.
Right?
Like that,
Okay.
that doesn't drive the system. The demand does, right? The demand drives the
Exactly.
entire system.
Right. So
Yeah.
so actually the demon in that scenario is not the dealer, it's the buyer who has led many dealers into that cage. Right? The buyer who's there for 20, 30 years and keeps getting people arrested. Right? The buyer who is the snitch who gets money from the police that gets to go buy the drugs, keeps the drugs, and then you take your ass to jail. He comes back next week.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I did that all in a fucking the grid is like this fucking holodeck world where it's built on hard light and projection and all that shit. I'm a sci-fi guy at heart, but
That's awesome. That's really interesting. Something that you mentioned about the food and stuff in Canada, and David, I don't know if you remember this. I think it was like 8 years back or something. Our government in Canada wanted to like criminalize natural foods like things like ginger and just things like natural things like turmeric, all those things. And there was this bill, I forget what it was called. It
oh,
was like
things with health
as
properties.
yeah, all the health things, right? And we fought like God, like we went like crazy. The movement, activists and everybody, like we were like getting all kinds of people to sign petitions and everything because they were going to put this through. They were trying to push it through so that you couldn't access all these health things because the pharmaceutical companies, like, they don't want people to have access to healthy things, right?
Would that have been
So
like 10 or
that,
20 years
and
ago?
then also, or like urban farming, like in Detroit, you see it a lot where they try to shut down urban farmers and access to that because and places that sell heirloom seeds, right, which are non-GMO, because the big Monsantos of the world, like it's profit, right, for them to control um, organisms that they've created that no longer have seeds, so you forever have to buy seeds from them, right? That's GMO products don't make their own seeds anymore, right? So they don't want you to have plants that seed them, like, what I mean, that have seeds, because then you're not going to go back and buy. Yeah, and they lock farmers in, like Monsanto, for example, will lock if you're a farmer and you buy from Monsanto. I
Remember?
believe, don't they make you sign contracts so
Yeah,
that you can
for sure.
only buy from them, right? Like you're
Yep.
looped into these crazy contracts.
Do you remember when the farmers in India were setting themselves on fire because of that? Because of the
Yeah,
Monsanto shit. They was like, you
yeah,
know what? Fuck this shit. I'd rather die, nigga. I'm not doing this shit no more.
yeah. It's bad.
Yeah, that sounds like
But
an
yeah,
epic book, Lo. That sounds really cool.
yeah, it's interesting, right? What a great idea.
Mm. And as far as that Canadian regulation, yeah, I think it was specifically around alternative medicine, quote unquote. That was a while back, though, right?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
like turmeric, things like that, like where you can use that. It's the most powerful anti-inflammatory, like
Right.
things
I
like
was just
that.
gonna
You
say
would
for
not be
arthritis,
able to
it's the
use it.
best. It's the best for arthritis. Yep.
100%. all those like super potent garlic,
You know
like
what's
super
funny?
potent.
You just described like the base ingredients of curry.
100%. You
Yeah.
wonder why they have very, very low cancer rates. That's why. Because
Yep.
inflammation, for anyone who
Ginger,
doesn't know,
turmeric. Yep. Yep.
yeah, inflammation is the root of a lot of diseases, right? So if you don't keep that inflammation down in your body, um, diseases can flourish just over time, right? But yeah, take turmeric for anybody. Turmeric, like a big tablespoon of turmeric with black pepper. You spring in milk, like almond milk or whatever kind of milk you drink, right? In a cup of milk, spoonful of turmeric and some black pepper, because the black pepper activates the curcumin in it, will defy gravity in terms of like inflammation in the body. And I can tell you crazy stories that I've had where the doctors were like, we don't know what to do, this is crazy, and boom, took turmeric, within 7 days they were like, what? Yeah. So it's so powerful.
No doubt. Good advice. Anybody else got any thoughts on Lowe's story or anything they want to share? Feedback? Welcome, Adrian. Got Jay in here. Welcome. K-Bot. Ingrid. Welcome, Ingrid. Tapping in with the community. We're live in Voxels. We'll share a B-roll film at some point when everyone's down to tune in. But yeah, just holding the floor, letting everyone share. If there's any projects you're working on, any stories you'd like to share, any spoken word, even music, whatever you got. But I hope that dystopia doesn't become a reality, Lo. And I think that governments and things in general are kind of trending the opposite direction as far as the alternative medicine goes. If it was up to the pharmaceuticals, they're going to keep spending the money for sure for lobbying. So I'm sure we haven't
Don't
seen.
forget the pharmaceutical
we haven't
companies
seen
are
the end
buying
of
up
it.
the food companies.
Right,
That's not an accident.
Yep.
Dirty.
100%.
Dirty.
I say like this, right? This is what I say. Move from an air of complete skepticism. Don't believe anything, trust no one, assume everybody is out to hurt you, and then be pleasantly surprised when you find out they're not.
Healthy skepticism is good. You just got to be careful because it's a thin line between that and cynicism.
Right.
Cynicism is sexy. Listen, cynicism is sexy.
You think so?
I don't know about
sometimes
that.
when you meet like somebody that's like super cynical, it's kind of like, come on, you know what I mean? Like,
You
you
love
gotta
me.
be so.
Shut up. You love me.
I love you, but I don't think you're cynical. I think you're very,
super
very
cynical.
honest.
I believe all of you guys are trying to
Yeah,
break into my
Lowe's
wallet and
mad
steal
cynical.
my ape all the time.
But Lowe's
Yeah, but
unapologetically cynical.
You think he's cynical? I don't think he's really
Sometimes.
cynical. I think he's very
Unapologetically, bro.
realistic.
100%. I don't trust none of everybody's out to get me.
Really?
Yeah. 100%.
Come on.
Listen, do you think it's an accident that all my biggest enemies, nemesis, opponents were once my friends?
Okay, but wait. Okay, I'm just gonna put something out there.
Wait, does that sound like a point?
Wait a second. What I'm about to say is that sometimes, well, no, I don't want to say sometimes, wrong word, many times, right? People will pretend to be your friend to gain access. So they were never your friends to begin with. You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
like
I
they were
knew.
using it to gain access, right?
And I always felt that way for everybody, and I'm only pleasantly surprised sometimes.
Okay, but there are many times, I think, like maybe not as many as that. Maybe, there are people who genuinely authentically like want to be your friend. Do you know what I mean? Like they want to be your friend. Like they gravitate to you. You know what I mean? On all the reasons where friendships are made or why friendships are made, I think there are genuine friends, right? That you have made. I don't think that everybody. It's how could it be it okay, I know it's not possible because I like to think of myself as a friend. And I don't want anything from you, so there's at least that proof.
Until you see a C phrase.
Come on, I would never. I would never. You know why? I'm principled. I have like serious principles. Like my principles don't allow me to do like crazy
But I'm
ass
sure
shit.
I'm sure there's something that your principles allow you to do that will piss me off because you're human. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Pilar.
Stubborn
I
and
also come
cynical,
from-
Pilar.
I also have a weird ass code of ethics, right? But
Yeah.
I do believe there's honor amongst thieves, right? I do.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah, because
that
they're scared to
that
fucking death.
exists. Sure, that exists.
Right?
Yeah,
You
that
don't want to fuck with somebody you know that could fuck you up. So I think
Exactly.
that's
Here goes
the
the thing, right? When you're around dangerous people, you act accordingly.
of course, if you're smart, like why wouldn't you, right? Like
Wow, if you're smart for me, that's if you're
No, she's
smart for
right.
me. She
No,
is
like
that's
if you're
absolutely right.
aware, like I mean,
Right.
you're right. Like if you're aware, then you would. Do you know what I
It's
mean?
intoxicating too, right? Sometimes to be around dangerous people, you start to think you're dangerous too, right? Because you think they allowed you in, and then you realize, oh shit, I'm food. Oh,
Hey,
wait,
you're not my friend after all.
wait,
And
I'm
hey,
the frog in the water, and the water's boiling now, and now they're having
Yeah.
frog soup. I thought
And
that
now-
we was in a hot tub.
spring
we not kicking
chickens.
it.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I'm on the menu. Oh fuck.
Yeah. Hey, you ever heard of crimes of proximity?
Crimes
No,
of
what is that?
proximity.
Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
that?
Pardon my accent, right? So okay, so that's great. I just want to sum it up into like a one-liner. It's basically the notion that crimes happen not because I have this vendetta against, somebody individually or a collective of people. It's that, hey, you're there, I have access to you. You're literally right there. Hey, why not? Like who else am I gonna do
Yeah.
this bad stuff to?
Robbery, right? Especially the lethal robberies. Sometimes niggas wasn't following you, my nigga. You crossed their paths and niggas was hungry. They wolves and you came through like a fucking steak on a plate.
Exactly. Sometimes
That's
those
it.
come in the form of friends. Like, hey,
Yep.
let's go into that. And by the way, great idea, Pilar. Believe it or not, and I don't want to seem like I'm not precise with the words I'm using. I said the word idea for a reason because that is how friendship should be in theory. But right now in this current climate of the world, it's just a great idea, because believe it or not, these things happen. And like I said, I think it's just a matter of them having access to you, them being close to you. There are always these type of people, they just never had the opportunity or the timing or just the proximity, whatever you want to call it, just to, show you who they are. If that
Anybody
makes
ever
any
seen
sense.
Paid in Full? Anybody ever seen Paid in Full? You got
No.
14 bricks in that bag right there?
Exactly, man.
Right
That's the word.
That was
They
his
all-
man up until the point where he realized he could kill that nigga and get away with 14 bricks, and he was like, pop, pop, pop,
Exactly.
dead.
Exactly.
You know what though? Okay, so I've had opportunities where if you're an aware person, you're like, yeah, all kinds of things you could do, but you choose not to. Like if, I'm like, I would
Yeah.
not do that. Like, why would I do that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
But I understand
beautiful.
I understand that proximity thing, and I understand that people do take advantage of situations that come up, and I get that. But don't you like in typical cases, doesn't that person have to be someone like what you were saying,
Those
Lo,
just
like
broken people.
wolves or broken people in general anyways? So if you are around, say, broken people or people that you know of, you don't know exactly what they do, but you know of them, you are more guarded. You know what I mean? You're like, okay, if I'm allowing myself to be in the proximity of these people, I'm extra
But
doubly
here's the
aware
rub. Here's the
of what's
rub, though.
going on, right? Because
Here's the rub. You
there's
don't
a
know who
potential.
these people are. But here's the thing, right? You don't know who these people are. So if you're around people, you are around these people.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that's the thing that people don't understand, right? You can go like, okay, LA may be a hotbed of it, right? Because they got 50, 60, 70,000 active gangbangers, right? But you
Mhm.
can still catch it in Missouri too. You catch it in Detroit too. You catch it in Atlanta too. You understand what I'm saying? Just
Yeah.
because there's less doesn't mean it doesn't exist,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Right? We take the major metropolitan areas and we tend to think it's only there. But man, there's millions and millions of people there. Yeah, it happens there more because there's more fucking people there.
Yeah.
But it happens literally everywhere. And it happens in these third world countries too. It's the same dynamic, right? It's the same shit going on in Haiti that is going on in downtown LA, that's going on in Brooklyn, that's going on in fucking Overtown Miami. All the same dynamic. It's a power struggle. Always. That's what it is.
There are communities though that the power struggle doesn't exist because they function a little bit different, but they're usually indigenous and very small communities. Their system is different.
I would posit that humanity is the same. The outward expression of what I described may be different culturally or regionally, but what I described is the interplay of personalities and people, and power is a thing that is intoxicating to all people.
Hey,
Bullies
it does. I
exist.
mean,
Bullies exist
as
everywhere.
nice as that sound, low, bro. I think you're just saying it way too complicated. I mean, you're saying the right things, by the way. I don't want to like take away from that. But bro,
It was too flowery.
man, listen, man, it
Niggas ain't
needed a
shit.
freaking,
Let me
it
say
needed a
it
freaking
nicer.
stream of
Niggas ain't
sparkles.
shit.
Yeah, niggas ain't shit.
Niggas ain't shit. Niggas ain't shit.
Niggas ain't shit.
Niggas ain't
Add some
shit and
sparkles
bitches ain't
to
better.
that.
Niggas ain't shit and bitches ain't
Yeah,
better. That's what
add
it
some sparkles, third fingers to that shit, man. You know, but I think I want to expound a little bit more than niggas and bitches ain't shit, which is as eloquently said as that. You know, I don't think it's to be, you know, expounded upon. But let's say if we could like get a science down to it, right, or some type of reasoning, because otherwise humans just fucking grimy, which we can continue on like that. But it's like you're gonna be living like I don't know what the word is, you know, somebody just expecting bullshit from every single angle, and no one likes those. I mean, no one likes to be around those guys, even though those guys are probably genius. It just doesn't present itself like genius, if that makes sense. It doesn't give genius. It gives manic, paranoid, like you know, super disturbed guy, you know. But super disturbed, manic, protected, and safe, and free from bullshit of humans guy.
safer
You
than
know,
sorry.
safer than sorry, right? So I say that to say that you know if you guys are familiar with the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, for visuals they have a diagram that you know is basically laid out what I'm about to speak about, just like this, right? And it's called Lawrence Kohlberg's stages of moral reasoning and development, and basically it gets to a level of reasoning and development that most people don't do shit because it's the right thing to do. They do shit because of the consequences or lack thereof. So I'm not gonna rob Lowe because I'll go to jail. Not, hey, I'm not gonna rob Lowe because he's a pretty decent guy. I'm sure he probably worked hard for everything he has, and you know I kind of hate that feeling of me just not having shit.
Or them niggas
I
don't
could
call police.
big,
Or them niggas don't call police.
or the niggas don't call police. Niggas don't call police. But I mean, that would be a form of consequence actually. So hey, I'll get locked up, or them niggas don't call police, which would be a great motivating factor, right? So you know what I'm saying? But let's say, you know, let's say he didn't have all the confidence and you know intricacies therein to allow Lowe to not call the police, right? Let's say he didn't have that, right? Then he would actually have to rely on call the police. Or let's say the police are actually the enemies, or they're just not responsive, like in some country states where I don't know, police show up in like 3 hours or something like that. You know what can happen in 3 minutes, 3 seconds, much less 3 hours. You know, so not to digress, right? Lawrence Kohlberg's stages of moral reason and development. Here's a stage, I forget what it's called. I guess it's the third stage, I guess, you know. Basically it's kind of you do things like I said just because of the consequences or lack thereof. So, you know, I'm not gonna go around robbing or, you know, violently attacking people, you know, not because hey, you know, I value my fellow man and you know I value you know society and how society thinks of upstanding citizens. Like I would never do that, you know, because you know I hold myself to a higher standard and I'm filled with integrity and transparency. So I'll hold myself accountable whether no one's watching or not. Like nobody does that, or the majority of people don't do that. Is my point, right? Most people draw the line and hey, I'm gonna get messed up if I do this, and there are gonna be some serious consequences. Not, hey, consequences or not, you know, based on the intrinsic value that I place on myself. You know, this doesn't bring value to my mission. You know, no, like very few people reason like that, and we need more people to reason like that. On a different note, but I say that to say that these are another reason why, you know, what Pilar said, by the way, like I said, a great idea. I wish more people were like that. And that is, in theory, how friendship should be. But in efficacy and what actually happens, or what they would say in real fucking life, that shit does not happen as often as it should. Believe it or not, like Lo said, a lot of people respect each other because they probably were close to destroying each other, and now they respect each other for some strange reason. If that makes any sense, So I don't know. I just want to land
best hoodlum friends either fought, shot at each other, or had real beef.
Yeah,
like
right there.
Real beef. Niggas who are really, really tight with each other probably fucking try to beat the shit out of each other before they got cool. I'm just speaking for me and my friends.
See, there we go.
Swear to God.
So everybody's not going on this notion of, by the way, I love that Pilar does this, but everybody's not Pilar. So we need more people like you, all right?
I think most of us are like that, though.
No, it's a great idea to believe that
No.
most of us are like that. Most of
If
us are
only.
nowhere near like that.
It's so cute, right? I love when
It
she
is
talks
amazing.
Like
I wish it was like that, honestly. That's why I'm not even laughing now.
Maybe it's your Canadian
what I find
optimism,
funny,
Pilar.
right? I get that sentiment a lot from women, right? I hear that a lot
in
from
their
women.
world, no disrespect, not to interrupt you, by the way. In their world, it's nowhere like that, bro.
Yeah, no, women can't stand each other, bro. They are so full of shit. It's just the most mind-boggling thing ever, bro.
And they would never show it. They'll talk like they're best friends and they can't stand each other.
Man, look.
There are women like that, but not
women.
Yeah, I would like to hear from the women present.
You guys are
I mean, I think there's
You're
this
not good.
space that
Well,
everyone's
you know what?
saving.
I'm gonna say it different. Men
don't
look
know.
at friendship totally different than women do.
very differently.
Very, very differently. And what we call friendship, what you guys, let me say it better. What you guys call friendship, I'm gonna speak for myself. Let me not stop speaking for everybody.
Like, hey, I fell asleep and I'm still alive.
I find it bizarre. I find it bizarre and dangerous. And if niggas treated me like that, I would be shooting in the street constantly.
Exactly, because there's a lot of emotional damage, like that guy says on the internet, whoever that guy is.
Emotional damage.
But it's a lot of emotional damage. I cannot deal with that emotion. Like, if men were supposed to go through that emotional roller coaster that women go through every day, this world would be fucked up, probably in flames.
Men do. Men like really like challenge and threaten and like cut down
push each other to be better.
No, we're emotional because we know what our emotions are.
Yeah, but
you guys can be feeling something and express something completely different. It's like, okay, at least I feel like I want to burn this shit down right now. Let me express it. Or at least maybe preemptively express that I'm getting there. I'm going 0 to, I don't know, maybe I'm at 1 now, but I'm getting to 100, and you guys better back the fuck up. Look at this match, You guys are like, fuck, I'm at 100. I have the torch in my hand. But hey, you want to go out with me for coffee? It's like, what the fuck? I don't get it.
My shit is how you be thinking they best friends until you get to be friendly with one of them, and then
I hate that bitch. I'm like, what?
I hate that bitch. I'm like, what the fuck?
Fuck?
Bitch, I only know you. I know you from her. Fuck you mean you hate her?
Word. You guys are just like celebrating, like, and talking about like vacation plans. You guys just shared your social security numbers with each other, like in person.
Yeah,
you got your kids. You just got each other's kids from school.
There are guys like that too. There's so many guys I know that hate.
Those are bitches.
They hate each other.
Those are bitch-ish.
Boys.
I'm gonna lie, I do know guys like that.
And
It's either
guys
one or
that
two
are
things.
so
Hey, you know what? You know how serious I am about what I just said? You see what my name is, right? ABN. You know what ABN stands for?
What does that mean?
ABN stands for anti-bitch nigga.
Anti-bitch nigga.
You know the ones I'm talking about.
I'm for it.
The ones I'm talking about.
I'm for
anti-bitch nigga life. That is what my name means.
I'm pro anti-bitch nigga.
Shit, I'm trying to tell you, bro. That's a real thing. What you just described, yes, there are men who act like that. They act like women. That's what we see.
They're
about
either
them.
extreme businessmen that have bodyguards walking with them 24/7, or they're bitches.
And a lot of those men, okay, if you look at the upper echelons of corporations, the corporate level,
Yeah,
right?
extremely rich
So
and powerful businessmen
like
walking around with bodyguards.
Psychopathic people. Like these are people in these positions. They're straight up psychopaths. If you were to, psychologically assess them, they are in that, in that paradigm of psychopath. Like there's psychopaths,
when you look up their decision making and how they conduct themselves,
right?
You're right, Pilar.
And that's like 90% of them are guys. Do you know what I mean? Like
swimming with sharks.
Yeah.
But I would say that's a facade.
Because
there's an end goal.
Listen, but the women who can swim in that pool are vicious.
Oh, exactly. Because they've been playing this game all their life, but they have like a dangerous edge to that now.
Yeah.
Because believe it or not, I've seen guys, believe it or not, I've worked in corporate America, downtown Manhattan, on that street that everybody talks about. And I'm telling you, I've literally heard like a little smoke break, right? Literally, guys have been talking about how to structure a deal for weeks. Every day, that's all they freaking talk about, right? And now when the deal gets signed and everything is closed, right? And they're talking about commission splits. And it's like, yeah, this and that. I'm glad it closed and this and that. I know it's my idea, but, you really made this happen. I was thinking we just could do 50-50. It's like 50-50. I thought we were talking about me. I'm like, what? I wasn't even in the conversation, but I had to look around like, whoa. Like, I just literally witnessed you guys talk about this shit, like, like every single minute of the hour for the last 2 weeks. And now when it comes time for the money, like, this guy just literally, like, nonchalantly, without even, like, a hint of any type of remorse or emotion, just said, hey, I thought we were talking about me. And that was that. So, I don't want to say I get it, but I do understand that this shit happens. But real business isn't like that, Because in my opinion, you could always do something to get somebody to sign for $100 million deals on a line. You could do anything to get the deal one time, but the real money is in repeat business. You could spend $100 million with me today, but are you going to come back and spend more money with me? Hell no. Because you don't trust me anymore. And even if the best product is the best product in the world, it could be exactly
There's
what
one more left.
I'm sorry, but it could be exactly what you need. My point is, because it was sold to you in a way that's not filled with integrity or something that you don't trust, psychologically, you're not going to treat it as the best thing ever, if that makes any sense. So that lifestyle is just like ABN said, bitch niggas. You know what I'm saying? So real people, and that's how they call it in business, straight shooters, those people are appreciated. They're actually protected. I think they're part of a protected species. Those species would never go exist. Real business
And you
people
know
that
what?
like getting stuff done always appreciate straight shooters.
And here's the thing, too. People tend to forget how reputation works, right? Because people are so focused on the now, they forget that time moves really fast and your reputation just builds up. And when you have a bad reputation, it only gets worse because you become more entrenched in the, oh, yeah, he ain't shit. Oh, yeah, don't trust her. Oh, yeah, no, they do bad business. You know what I'm saying? And it becomes worse and worse and worse and worse and worse.
But that's only if people hold them accountable. Most people will like shut their mouths and keep quiet.
I think the bill comes due sooner or later. And a lot of people live for legacy. You look at someone like Mother Teresa.
Oh yeah, Mother Teresa.
It catches up with you eventually, bro. In a few years, she's gonna be synonymous with evil. She's gonna be one of the greatest villains in history.
Yeah.
From the name, like whenever somebody saw you doing something, oh, look at Mother Teresa. Nah, she's gonna flip completely because the bill comes due eventually.
Great point. So to go back to what we were saying, I think it's good to highlight that. I think I wish the world worked like this. Everybody just says and does, what they say and, act accordingly. But I guess, what do you call that? I don't even know what to say. I don't want to say deception or just not knowing what's on everybody's mind at every given moment. It's like, I don't even know what to call it.
Yeah, well, there's something
But
to
you
be.
basically just have to trust trusting the unknown is basically what you're doing.
No, trustless. Right? Trustless means you don't put yourselves in positions where you have to trust people.
Oh, cynicism. We were just talking about that.
Yeah, trustless.
Yeah, but there's something to be said
the world
about.
we're trying to build, right? That's what this whole Web3 shit is supposed to be about, right? Trustless,
Yeah.
permissionless.
Yes, and
Yes.
verification.
But at the same time, when it comes
Via the
to
blockchain.
when it comes to collaborating
to
and
trust you, because there's no way for you
exactly. But remember we talked about that whole blockchain nostalgia shit that went away when we looked at the ledger. What was it, Etherscan? And there were a lot of transactions missing. Remember that conversation?
You were here for that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of fucked me up a lot because I'm like,
Wait.
fuck, where's
they were
where's
missing.
blockchain nostalgia?
What was missing? What was missing?
It wasn't exactly missing, but like the steps.
Yeah, it doesn't show everything.
Yeah, it doesn't show all the steps, which to me, I'm like, okay. We see
There
somebody
are
got
swaps
paid.
involved. Yeah, swaps involved to handle. It just doesn't show everything, right?
Yeah,
There are things that can go undetected.
yeah,
Oh,
and that fucked me up completely.
now that's messing me up too.
You know?
Well,
No,
but
no.
see, here
I
goes the
said I
deeper
use the
thing.
word. I
But here
use
goes
the
the
word
thing, right? No,
explicit.
there's a caveat to that as well, right? The
What? Don't.
ledger contains everything. The ledger has everything. If you're going to go through the UTX, right? If you go through all the transactions, you will find all the transactions. Ether
Yeah.
scan, not the ledger. It's a scanner
God,
box.
right, right.
So
That
it
It's
that
doesn't
was the
do some
protocol.
problem. It
things.
was like, okay, how did they get it done? It's like, do they
Ether's
have a network of
protocol on
scammers
the
with scammer
website.
money sending out these shit? Like, what the fuck? Even though I don't know. My whole point is though, right? You could throw anything in there that whole question mark of what happened or where, you know? You could throw any damn thing in there, and it'll kind of like, you know. My whole point is uncertainty is the worst thing you could have, especially for business, you know. So I don't want to worry about where my money's going. It's already kind of bad enough with all this, you know, like markets going up and down and whatever it's doing right now. But I digress, you know. Forget about it like forget about the blockchain screwing you over. We're still at people. Blockchain doesn't have feelings. That's easy to handle.
Mm-hmm. I believe in the future.
I mean, you have no choice. The future was 5 seconds ago when I started the sentence, but it's not anymore. That's my point.
Getting mad
Time is
philosophical
afraid
here.
of gravity.
Speaking of future, I was thinking about some technical shit the other day. I don't know. I don't want to take away from the entire conversation, which is probably too late for that right now. But do you guys know about when Einstein talked about like traveling or acceleration or just moving in general that you age faster than somebody on the ground? Does anybody remember that shit?
No, I
I think
didn't.
it's
I didn't
age
know
slower,
that.
isn't it?
Say it again.
Slower or faster? The point is, there's a difference, right?
I didn't hear what you said. Say it again.
Yeah, say it again.
Did anybody hear about that experiment that Einstein did? He did it in calculations about you know, time and movement. Somebody mentioned gravity, which is why this popped up in my head. Is that I could one person, identical twins, right? Obviously born
Oh
the
yeah.
same day, could
Well,
be
he
on
did
the
it
Earth.
with the dude that's in Congress right now. He's an astronaut. He's a twin. He went up.
Yeah,
He was up at the space station for a year and change, and he's younger than his brother.
exactly.
Yeah,
What do you mean? What do you
biologically.
mean? So,
Time is a function of gravity. I know it sounded like a
Right.
joke when I said it, but
It's
I really
not.
meant
I
it.
actually picked up on it.
Yeah, no, it's legit. What it means is if you only experience time dependent on
It's
the
relative.
power of the gravity, right? The center of gravity that you're affected by is what dictates how the passage of time is for you, right? So someone who is off world, who is not on the planet, who's not dealing with the sun's gravity, is going through time at a much slower rate than you are.
Yeah.
You
I don't
know?
want to say the word time. I would say age. Because
No, but
time,
time-
right,
Observing
can be
the
converted.
passage
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
of
'Cause
decay of this. All right, let me say it this
it can
way.
be converted
Is
to. I don't
observing
want to get.
the
But you're right.
passage of entropy at a different rate.
You're right. Exactly. But it can be converted.
really?
To,
So wait. So if we stayed on an airplane for
correct.
many times, like if we spent a lot of time on airplanes, we would age slower.
Yes.
Well,
Wow,
not
Pons is over.
not as dramatically because
on a
your
plane.
gravity, your
Not- that's not that
gravitational
dramatic, but
impact
now,
doesn't
if you were
change.
to spend your time in the vastness of space, you
Oh.
could be out there for what would feel like to you 20 years and come back here in fucking centuries at best.
Wow.
in theory, nobody's tested that yet. But yeah.
No, yeah, in theory. In theory.
Okay. So the people going to Mars to populate or whatever, they're going to age slower than people on Earth.
Yes.
Yeah, in theory.
Not much though. It's not that far.
Time itself equals distance divided by
And they're still
speed,
affected by
right?
the gravity of the sun, even though to a lesser degree.
Yeah, because I think it takes, what does it take, like 6 or 7 years to get there or something? I don't know. I can't remember the
So where,
number.
the sun or Mars?
Mars.
Mars.
Mars is like 3 years or something. 3 some change, right? Or is
Is
it
it
5?
3 years? I can't
I think
remember.
they're saying
Somewhere
3
around
to
there.
5 years. They don't have it nailed down yet.
Yeah, it's a long ass trip.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's
And
a long
probably
ass
gonna be a
trip.
one-way
It's
trip for
life
the
changing
first
trip to
people.
say the least. If you're gonna be in one fucking travel, like forget about traveling one way, right? 3 hours. traveling one way 3 years. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Round trip, 6 years.
Okay, if you get the round trip,
Oh, no,
probably
ain't no round
not.
trip, though. Ain't no round trip.
No.
No, it's
Exactly. My
French
point is, right? Anybody that signs that
Popular.
contract to me is signing like their death certificate, which is okay for science. And if you're really legitimately like ready to make that sacrifice, by all means, right? But at the
Yeah.
end of the day,
but
right? Because
that-
that's basically what I look at it as. If you
Yeah.
sign up for something like that,
All right.
No,
all
I
right.
agree. I know somebody
wanna
that's
try to
submitted for that.
bring the conversation back here. I know we've hit the 60-minute mark, and I do want to just make sure everyone gets a chance if there's anyone else who wants to add anything. And I want to be able to share the B-roll for anyone to check. But just checking in, like Anita is here, Adrian, Ingrid, Yuri, Roderick, welcome, Booman, welcome, Ganzi. Got Sasha and Rick here. Just want to make sure if anyone has anything else they want to share, probably wind down in like 20 minutes or so. And I wanted to also share the B-roll if everyone wants to jump into Voxels or just watch it on the twitch.tv/storytimedao. Anita, you had some really cool shots from New York that you've added this week. I wanted to give you an opportunity if you had any kind of background you wanted to share on that or anything
background you want
creative.
to share on that, or
Sure.
anything background you want to share on that, or
Sure.
background you want to share on that.
Got some. I the both one is from Harlem, and the other one is from Times Square, and I like to go out and do some night shooting sometimes in the city, so that comes out of that series that I've been working on, and I'm happy to share it with you and be with all the other artists tonight.
Very cool. Thanks, Anita. So with that, if everyone wants to jump in or watch on Twitch, let's play the B-roll and we'll see some of Anita's awesome photography as well as Sasha's art and some videos and music from K-Bot, some awesome art from Pilar, some stuff from Brooke in here as well, and Josh and Peggy and one of Rick's stories. So without further ado, let's show it on the screen here. We'll watch that. It's about 9 minutes, so play that through. And I'm going to play the audio, so it should be able to play through on Clubhouse as well. So at least those who aren't watching the video can hear it. Yeah, let's get it going here.
Hey, Dave, should we be hearing the audio?
digital avatar will you choose in the metaverse? What digital wearable will you choose in the metaverse? It will matter how you look in the metaverse. It will matter how you look. It will matter how you look in the metaverse. It will matter how you look. Mixed reality. Physical by Nerdy Gangsta and 360 Fashion. Nerdy Gangsta's virtual exhibition can teleport anywhere. The merging of real and virtual worlds to produce new environments and visualizations where physical and digital objects coexist and interact in real time. It is mixed, it is real, and it's here, and it's for you. And Nerdy Gangsta with 360 Fashion. Here's where you start, with digital.
Powered by 360 Fashion.
Yeah, wait. So, it's mine. Is there supposed to be music playing?
Yeah, there's some music playing on the video. In Clubhouse, I don't know if it's coming through, but if you're watching on the stream, it should be.
Oh, that's dope as fuck, Sasha. I never seen it.
Yeah, super dope. Those GANs are wild.
What?
Animated GANs.
Jack, Jill, and Bitcoin. Jack and Jill bought Bitcoin via Cash App each Sunday at 3:30 in the morning. They were super happy when the doctor saw a baby in Jill's belly transforming. As the weeks passed by, their account became stronger. They both thought the balance would take much, much longer. So they sacrificed their entertainment spending and paid in more money each week. They were vegan, and their baby was born with an unassisted natural birth technique. The pandemic hit, and Bitcoin had a bear run and fell pretty low. Jack caught COVID and wanted to sell right then, but Jill said,
No! Listen to me. If we continue on with our investment leveraging, you just may learn a thing or two about dollar cost averaging.
So they continued saving and Bitcoin investing. They bought a digital wallet and kept on collecting. And sure enough, Bitcoin began to rise. It tripled in value to their complete surprise. Jack appreciated Jill and thanked her for her wit. Their generational wealth is because they did not quit. The end.
You having a good time in New York?
Yeah, I'm just hanging out, chilling, enjoying the scenery, you know what I mean?
Word.
New York, woo! Great stuff, really great. Wonderful, wonderful. I can't wait. Hey, you know what? Eat the food. Amazing food. Every single food. I love it. It's just wonderful.
Especially the pizza.
The pizza. Oh my God, the pizza to die for.
Let's go.
Oh, so good.
That's it. Thank you everyone who submitted some awesome art and works of creativity. Love to hear any feedback from people here. Did it come through all right for everyone? I don't know if the audio was coming through on Clubhouse.
No, I didn't hear no music.
On the live stream, did you hear it at least?
I heard Josh talking. I think that was Josh, right?
Mm-hmm. For the story part. Is anybody else having the same problem? Was the music coming through?
No music.
No, not really. It was really choppy.
On the stream or just here in Clubhouse?
Clubhouse.
Well, I was watching the stream too. At first, right, there was like a fucking weird double delay and shit, but once you played the video, there was no more audio.
Did anybody hear the audio on the video for the live stream? All right. Well, we'll have to sort that out. I don't know why that would be the case. I'll check it back on the live stream. I'll play it back through after on the recording. But yeah, the artwork looked awesome. Thanks again, Pilar and Sasha and Brooke and Anita. Lots of awesome art. And K-Bot. Lo, it sounded like you had a question for K-Bot after his bit was over there. Did you have a question for K-Bot?
Who's the nerdy gangster?
I think he's the nerdy gangster. He's not actually here right now, so I guess he stepped out. But I assume he's the nerdy gangster, yeah. I'm impressed by his robot suit, honestly.
Yeah, that's what he does for a living, though, right? That's what he does. That's what K-Bot does in real life. You know that, right?
He makes robots?
He shows up at that robot to the celebrities' birthday parties, kids' birthday parties and shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so dope.
That robot costume he is K-Bot. That in real life, that nigga's a K-Bot.
Yeah, I wish he was here to tell us more, but yeah, that's what I've gathered from what he's shared before.
Oh, the artwork was awesome. I like the animation. The visuals were really nice. I'm gonna listen to it in Twitch later on so I can hear the audio. Thanks for sharing, David.
Hey, I didn't have any art in there.
No, you haven't submitted it. What? I didn't know which one you want. You want me to just pull something from your NFTs?
I didn't know nothing about this shit.
I've been mentioning it like the day before every week. Anyway, just send me any picture you want. Or multiple pictures, whatever art you want to showcase. Do it up.
Do we still add more to that folder, or is there like a new folder?
Yeah, just add more to that folder, but let me know because I won't know unless you tell me.
Got it. Okay. Lo, add your stuff in that folder.
What folder are you talking about?
Google folder for member art. I'll drop it in the chat again right now. Any other feedback? Yeah, it was awesome seeing the art. Anyone have any thoughts, questions?
Anita, I just want to say it was fabulous and I loved it, and so happy to be a part of it with all the wonderful artists here, and it's lots of fun too.
Nice. Thanks, Anita. Thank you for adding more awesome photos to the mix. All right, well, we're about to hit the 90-minute mark. Lo, I just dropped the link to that drive, that folder in the general chat, so DAO general chat. So if you want to just drop whatever you want to drop in there and just let me know you did it, so I'll go find it and add it to the B-roll for next week.
Yeah, I'll throw some shit in there.
Cool, let's go. We might start recycling some, but I don't know. I think we can just add to it until it gets to like maybe 15 minutes, and then we'll start cutting stuff. Or if anyone wants me to remove anything they've added already, just let me know and I can definitely remove it. If you want to recycle it out or put something else new instead, whatever. It's a evolving B-roll video.
You know what you should do, right? Is make it a YouTube video, right? Private, only with the link, and then we'll just put the screen up in the record store with that as the YouTube video. You feel me?
Word. That's a good idea, man. All right. Maybe we'll let everyone know before we do that version, because maybe more people might want to be in that version. I don't know.
a regular thing, right? You can just keep swapping.
Just keep updating it. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Yeah, all right.
Put like 3-4 screens up there, and then you just have like 3-4 different
reels,
and then you can keep changing them and add them new, different. You know what I'm saying?
That's super dope. Yeah. You and Jake and I gotta just set an hour aside and just like redesign that a little bit and see what you want to do with that. But I'm down for whatever. That would be really cool in that little record shop area at the base. Cool. Well, let's do it. Anybody else? Any feedback? Sorry? Walking downstairs now in the area that we were just referencing. There's a random picture on the ground. But yeah, maybe on this wall here. That'd be kind of cool. Put a video screen on there. Play a community video. Or wherever you think works best.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I was talking to you. I'm walking around on the base floor there, the record shop.
I haven't heard you said in a while. What did you say?
In the record shop here, the videos screens that you were just talking about, we can put it on the wall here. It looks like there's an open space on this like wall on the right. That's right by the stairs.
Hold on, let me go look.
Okay. There he is. So this one here, this wall right here on the side, it looks like there's a painting on the ground. I don't know. But yeah, just this wall on the side here maybe could work. Put a video screen there.
Which wall? The wall with the long necking lady?
Which
Which wall are you talking about?
Supposed to have the long necky lady, yeah. Maybe it's my screen's messing up. But yeah, it would be that wall there. I was thinking the video could go on that wall.
Nah, wouldn't it make sense to put it right here where the windows are?
Okay, yeah.
Where there's nothing at. Put it right here where the window is.
All right, just right over the window. Keep the window.
Huh?
Keep the window, but just put the screen over it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, we'll have that update done before our next community event in Voxels. Definitely, we can get that done real quick, maybe even later today. So on the docket for the community, we do have our executive meeting tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be an important meeting, trying to iron out those membership admission details that we talked about yesterday during a very productive team meeting with the community. Looking forward to that next round of membership admission and getting the Friends of the Dow in here. So we'll be ironing that out tonight and hopefully have some more details around that tomorrow. Yeah, anyone have any questions before we blow up the room? Thanks again, everybody who shared their art and creativity here. I've dropped the link in the Dow General chat if you'd like to have your art or creativity included on the B-roll for next week. You can just drop it in there and let me know.
Hey, David, is the meeting just for execs, or can anyone join to add any comments? This is the first one I can join since I'm on vacation this week.
Yeah, the meeting is for execs, but anyone can join. We just want to get through kind of the executive agenda, and then we'll open it up for more conversation probably. But yeah, definitely anyone is free to join in and listen and chime in. Yeah.
David, did we finish the code of conduct?
No, code of conduct still being ironed out. Pilar and Singyun are kind of taking the lead on that. That's going to be on the agenda for tonight as well. So that and the membership admissions are kind of the two big items that we'll be talking about. And there was also, I believe Singyun was talking about doing our news meeting tonight as well afterwards, after the executive meeting, but I don't know. It hasn't been plugged in. Maybe we'll park that for now. See, I'll put a message in the newsroom chat.
So I put the screen down there already. Whenever you finish,
awesome.
Uploading the thing, just boom, go in there the same way you do the Twitch thing. Just put the YouTube link.
Awesome. All right, so we'll get the link live, and then so as long as it's a private link,
it could just be a permanent thing down there. You feel me?
That's dope. And then week to week, we can just switch out the video.
I would make the pin, like the thumbnail, like an explanation of what it is.
Oh yeah, good call. All right, okay, we'll do that. We'll get this week's B-roll up on YouTube soon, and I'll let folks know when that video wall is live. Probably in the next 24 hours. So cool. Marijuana Man, how are you doing? I was just curious if you have any update on the 3D graphic front. I know you were asking for some help there. I'd love to see what you got if you want to share anything.
Oh yeah, actually, Forte was just helping me out with a Blender thing. We actually have one more person that's gonna come onto the project and help me just find out this fucking thing, bro. I've been trying to export it out of Nomad, but like I said, I got the animation of it done. I could show you and everything like that. If you want to hop into the Discord, I could show you what I got. It's pretty slick. But yeah, just right now I got like the textures and everything like that. There's just one texture that I'm trying to fix the material on. It's not sharp enough for some reason. When I export it out of one software, it makes it all smooth. But besides that, yeah, it's all coming along. If you want to see an update after the room, I can show you.
Sure. Yeah, sounds good. I'll jump in there after the room and check it out, and maybe we'll be able to show everyone and announce it next week. That'll be real cool. But awesome. Thank you, Ingrid. Thank you, Ingrid, for helping them out as well. And yeah, that's what community's all about: collaborating, building. But yeah, it looked dope to me already, what you had before. So I'm sure any improvements are pretty cool too. But yeah, I'll check that out. We'll jump into Discord right after this. Shoot you a message.
Yeah, we can meet in the Storytime Down Discord.
All right, cool. I'll be in the Dow Lounge right away. All right, thanks everybody. Lo, any other words to add? Anybody else? Anything to add? Adrian? Anybody else? Thank you again, Anita. Good feedback. All right. We hit the 90 minutes. This has been Live in Voxels with Storytime DAO, the history of now, community engagement, sharing all our creativity in the metaverse and on the live stream. And we'll be back next Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern, live in Voxels with more art from the community. Thanks, everybody.